So, mashallah, this bike has turned a lot of heads all the time. Mashallah, may Allah put barakah in it. Ameen, may Allah protect it. Ameen. Um, First of all, like KTM, why this bike, bro? Tell us everything about this bike, including top speed.
Oh, okay. So this is a adventure bike. So it's not really designed for top speed. It's more designed for adventure riding, which is whether it's like unpaved roads and but really overall this bike is a touring bike. It's what nowadays they call an adventure bike because anytime that anyone goes touring, it's an adventure. But the other added benefit of this bike is a bit like a 4x4 of the motorcycle world, where it has the ability to carry a lot of luggage. You have these side pannier grips, like a top plate there where you can put a top box, put all your gear in there. Have panniers on the side, take a pillion in comfort. You can see the seat is rather large. The good thing about these bikes nowadays, they come with all sorts of things such as like cruise control. My bike has cruise control. It comes with heated seats, believe it or not. Both of them are heated grips, so you're warm. Like even today, it was a little bit chilly, even though it's a summer's night. Had the heated seats on, heated grips on, cruise control running, no worry about over speeding. So I was just cruising gently here to meet the brothers at Dean Riders. I think the reason I bought this bike, KTM, first of all, is that it's not the market leader in its field, but actually it's a very powerful and distinctly different bike. And I think I wanted something different. You can tell it's very orange. So
Yeah.
it's an orange bike. It's Austrian manufactured. It has a, believe it or not, a 1.3 liter engine.
1.3.
1.3. It's a 1300 cc.
Same as the Busa.
Yeah, but it's only got two cylinders. So it's a V twin. So, mashallah, it pulls, it has a lot of heavy torque. It's a very smooth engine. And what they've done, how they've engineered it, is incredible, actually. So, I'm very pleased and proud to have this bike. Traditionally, the exhausts on these bikes are really, really expensive. They range from like, £500 to a couple of, well into like £1,200 for an exhaust. So I went and bought a cost-effective exhaust to put on this bike. The reason why I bought a cost-effective one is one, I didn't want to break the bank. Two, because I would be taking this bike off-road and having adventures in it, I knew that I might drop it. And the exhaust is one of the first things to get damaged.
Yes.
So I didn't want to splash out on a carbon exhaust like you've got. This is more fragile. So I needed something that's a bit more sturdier. And the other reason I've got it is because as bikers, we like to be heard. Being heard is almost as good as being seen. Because if you can be heard, then people avoid.
They're alert, aren't they, before they even
They're
see
aware
you?
to your presence because
Yeah.
modern cars are so well insulated. They've got such modern hi-fi systems, and they listen to podcasts or whatever the music they're listening to. They've insulated from the world. And if they're not paying attention, they don't see you. Maybe they'll hear you. And if they hear you, then you've got more of a chance to stay upright on the bike rather than being another statistic.
But you got the baffle in here still. Is that removable? Because I can see there's a screw.
So when I got the bike, I took the baffle out. And what the baffle does, it's kind of like self-descriptive. It baffles the sound a little bit, so it makes the sound more pleasant and agreeable. Now, what the baffle does also, it makes it road legal, road compliant. But obviously, we as bikers don't like that. We want to have it more fruity sound. When I took the baffle out, it was too blooming loud. It was hurting my ears. I was getting shaken by it because it is such a booming exhaust. Like it was to the point of obnoxious. And so the other road users and myself, and I found it tiring and withering to actually ride with it. So what I did is I put the baffle back in, but then it was too quiet. It was like a sewing machine. It felt like a scooter because it's designed with modern Euro compliance. So what I actually did is I took the baffle out
Yeah.
and I sliced it and then made it shorter and shorter until I got the perfect sound.
Oh, wow, okay.
So this is actually
That's
louder.
new.
Yeah.
Ah.
This is my ingenuity.
Modern volume control.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a modern volume control. So I kept slicing off centimeters until it got that perfect sound that I wanted, that was loud enough that I could be heard, enjoyable, but not obnoxious. So that's what I did. That's how
wicked.
I got that.
You've got a track bike, haven't you?
I do. I've
Yeah.
got a track bike. I'll take it to racetracks and we fly around there, getting our knee down, our elbow down, and
Yeah.
we're very fortunate.
So what aspects would you say, for example, of track racing could someone bring to the road without actually racing or speeding, but just in terms of like handling and control that could benefit them to become a better rider on the road?
So I think the primary thing is being relaxed on the bike. A lot of people are very tense on their bike and they hold the handlebars to the point where they're getting calluses on their hands and they're literally white knuckle ride. Because a lot of people think I've got handlebars, I need to hold on for dear life. That's not always the case. It's not the case. Like, the handlebars are for steering the bike, but really the main way that you hold on to a bike is using your core and your legs. Yeah. I'm lucky this bike's quite an upright bike, so it enables me to sort of sit centrally in the seat and be quite light on the bars. But even when we're riding bikes like yourself, you've got the Hayabusa there, is if you pinch with your knees and use your core to hold you up, it takes literally 30-40% of your body weight, and suddenly you feel your shoulders are more relaxed, your arms are more relaxed, and you're able to steer and control the bike a little bit better. And I think that's the key thing, really. When you see riders who are riding really stiff with their arms locked out in a forceful position, holding on for dear life, trying to steer the bike, actually they're fighting themselves. The bike is actually quite a fluid piece of engineering, so it'll go where you want it to go. But if you're holding on really tight, actually it's counterintuitive to what you're trying to achieve. But yeah, I think that's the biggest riding tip I would give, is look about being light on your handlebars. I'm not saying let go of the handlebars, but I'm saying definitely, be light on the handlebars.
That's a good tip, like you said, like gripping with the knees helps you to like be lighter on your
absolutely
hand.
It takes the weight off you. Like, I carry a pillion, my son sits on the back of this. So one of the things that he does is when we're braking, he'll squeeze with his knees, and you'll find he'll hardly ever push against me, because by squeezing with his knees against the bike and against me, he picks off a lot of his weight, and then we've got an easy job of it when we're trying to ride. So that's one thing. And the second tip I'd give to especially new riders and experienced riders is vision. Look ahead. Don't look at your front wheel. Don't look at just the car in front of you. Scan the road. Look through the road. See what's ahead of you, what's coming up, and be aware. Be more aware. Because by being aware, it helps you anticipate hazards of what's coming, and also it slows the speeds down. It gives you a better perception of where you're going, how fast you're going to get there. Is there a potential hazard that's coming towards you or going to happen by the time you get to that junction or by that car? And that really does help with your forward planning. So I think those are the two key tips.
That's a really good tip, because the intuitive rider, he's also driving for the person in front of him. And sometimes the rider can see the person in front braking before that person in front has even braked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.